We often note on this channel that the Walt Disney Company has raised the prices on their parks so much that they're pricing out everyday folks like you and me. Well, one of the wealthiest men on the planet, that being Nelson Peltz, went on CNBC and told them that he secretly took a trip to the Walt Disney World Resort, and he also agreed that the parks are in trouble, and he's the man to fix them. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, where we talk about streaming, theme parks, entertainment, and video games. Let's get into it. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Walt Disney Company is rising up in stock price. It's at 93 now. It was dangerously close to going sub 90 not that long ago. And looking down here, we've been having a little discussion about this aspect in particular. The major holders, that 65% of the Walt Disney Company is held by institutions. And an institution that we have a lot of interest in here, of course, would be Vanguard, which has 8%, BlackRock, which has 6.48%, and this little one down here, Trian Fund Management. It says it has 1.8%. I think that's rounding. Right there. But our good friend Nelson Peltz over there at Trian Fund Management and Trian Partners and Trian Management GP and all the different little entities. And I have to thank Vash for sending me this one. Here is Nelson Peltz on Of All Rides. It's funny you should mention that particular one. Right here is Nelson wearing those 3D glasses from Star Tours. I personally preferred it before it had 3D glasses, but I get it. I'm not sure who this other fellow is here. Maybe that's Peter May from the other guy that is part of the Trian Partners, the other partner in Trian Partners.
See,
I just love it. It just makes me happy.
I know.
Without further ado, let's get into this CNBC interview where Nelson Peltz made it known to the world that he's back, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right. This is, by the way, this is Jim Cramer. He is a veteran media personality, and his greatest contribution is the inverse Cramer rule. If someone can explain what the inverse Cramer rule is.
Well, if Jim Cramer says, buy, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's famously on record as saying we should all sell Stark stock. So.
They're a weapons company that doesn't make weapons.
Exactly.
Bears Steers. They're the company you want to invest in. Really?
Oh my. All right, let's get into this.
Special guest joining us
Can you hear it?
now. And that's Nelson Peltz, founding partner at Triumph.
Can you hear it?
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
What I also find fascinating is his voice shows up before his lips move, which is incredible. But anyway.
I'm not even going to vent. He's got a very distinct way of speaking, and I think I could do an impression. I don't think I'm going to try it right now.
So, Nelson, good to see you.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
All right, let's go right to work. Apparently, you're not happy with the direction of Disney and Bob Iger.
Okay, let's just point out the power dynamic here. On the right, you have a billionaire, and on the left, you have a guy who... not a billionaire. Let's first point that out. And second, he likes to grill people. He's not going to hold this guy's feet to the fire in any way that's really going to intimidate him.
No.
So you really are going for it. I wanted to get a sense of what you think is fortunate and unfortunate about the current situation at Disney and the board.
First, let me tell you, I want to say good morning to David and to Carl, and thank you for having us here today. You know, today is an important day. We filed our preliminary proxy statement, and we opening our website, which is Restore the Magic. And
we'll be looking at both of those here before the end of the stream, folks.
we did all that, Jim, because we love Disney. You know, we love Disney, and it saddens me that the board didn't welcome me, because our goal is just to work with them, to help them, and to help them make the company better, which frankly we have a history of doing. You know, what was interesting, Jim, is last week.
Oh, by the way, if you guys have seen all of this on other streams, we have access to the part that is behind the paywall at CNBC Pro, and we'll be discussing the things that have not been in the video clips that have been going around. Just want to point that out.
we went, 7 of us from Trian, went to Disney World in Orlando. And it was fascinating because we went not the way board, directors, family, friends go. We didn't have any special passes.
Okay, actually, I want to point this out. The board of directors have either a $15,000 a year or $25,000 a year stipend, which Disney will cover the tax on if they incur it, in order to purchase Disney products. Just so you know.
Whoa. Oh,
Wow, that's almost as good as working for Reedy Creek was.
I have never heard, by the way, of any board member being in the parks before. Never seen that before. You know, that is quite
Maybe
unusual.
they were in costume. Maybe they were goofy. I mean, they do some things that are Dumbo. So
I haven't seen clowns in the park before.
I'm trying to
Other
think
than
if
in a
I've ever
parade.
seen a clown there.
Other than in a parade. I can't remember what parade had some clowns or like French clowns, but there was one. Do you remember, Vash? It was a while ago.
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Well, wait,
yeah.
when
That
they
wasn't
put
until
in
the circus
their,
days
their
back in the
version of
50s.
Toontown at the back, didn't they put some kind of circus thing in there way back when?
But
I don't know.
there was a circus tent back there, but that was back in the very opening of Disneyland. I believe there was a circus set up in Walt Disney World that lasted for a little bit while. So
Yeah.
maybe we're thinking those clowns.
That
Or
was
Cirque
back
du
in-
Soleil.
Yeah, way back when.
And by the way, if anyone needs a citation on that, it's on page 34 of the proxy statement.
Oh, boy.
Services up to a maximum of $15,000 there. So anyways, getting back to Jim and Nelson.
Didn't have any tour guide, didn't have any leg breakers, pardon me.
By the way,
Leg breakers, meaning lightning lane.
I think he meant lane breakers or line
yeah,
breakers.
line breakers, but leg breakers.
But leg breakers are
It's kind of like that. I mean, you
That's
feel
the way
like
he
it.
does
That's
business.
another way.
Arm and a leg, you had to give up to get in that pass.
It's a real good way to get through the line real fast. Yeah, boss. Yeah.
We'll get you up
Line
there.
breakers didn't have leg breakers either. And everybody was nice. I mean, Magic Kingdom and the Hollywood studios were terrific. The people were wonderful. All the employees were smiling, and that's probably in large part because they didn't own any Disney stock.
Savage.
Every time he says
Absolutely
that.
savage.
That's the best line ever.
Of course, coming from the largest individual shareholder of the Walt Disney Company, he can make that joke.
Yes, he can.
By the way, guys, you're showing Disneyland here as he's talking about Disney World.
Oh, they do that stuff.
No,
They're
all
not
the
very
time.
they're not very smart.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here, Jim. This company is just not being run
there's-
properly.
Yeah, that's
the
world.
board oversight is.
Hey,
is
they don't have
awful.
that right anymore.
It really is. The park, as I said, certain rides are great, but
The poor
you can
hub.
see it's getting a bit long in the tooth.
By the way, we're very specifically going to address that because Bob Iger starts bragging in the compensation section about all the things that were opened, even just this year. Yeah, we've brought receipts. By the way, Vash, can you bring those up just in case?
Of course.
Just in case I can't get them in time.
Yeah, show us all the amazing attractions that they've added this year.
And how they're all broken already.
Yeah.
More capital investment.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
sorry,
no.
Sorry. Whoa.
Oh no,
There we
I meant have them ready to go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I presented it, but then it took
Born
over. Sorry.
ready.
Go ahead.
Present.
Now because the competition is getting keener. You've got Comcast opening 500 acres right down the road in 2 years with a brand new park.
Yeah.
They're also opening parks in Chicago, opening a park in Texas.
Is there a park
No,
in
he corrects
Chicago?
himself in a second.
Okay.
Pardon me, not Chicago, Las Vegas.
Okay.
So-
And
Vegas, yeah.
these are this is where all the value today in the stock price resides.
But Nelson, I understand from the background to the solicitation, you had as many as 20 meaningful interactions with the board. Why is that not enough?
Okay, that is directly from the Walt Disney Company proxy statement, by the
Yes.
way.
Correct.
So, and we'll also be going through some of those interactions, and we have both sides now instead of just Disney's side of it.
And by the way, meaningful interactions. This is kind of like that old "if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, did it make a sound?" thing.
Right.
It isn't meaningful if they don't respond. It isn't meaningful if they don't take you seriously. If it isn't meaningful if they're just patting your head and saying thanks a lot, go away.
Yeah, and and there might be other colorful things inserted in the language there, like "you're a good milk cow," perhaps. Or
yeah. Like, or if you say the phrase "I understand," you're not saying "I agree." You're saying "I understand what you're saying."
I've been accused of that.
Come on, Jim. You know as well as I. When you're on the board, you have a vote. People need to listen to you. Management need to hear your position. They offered me to come on board last year as a visitor, a guest visitor on occasion. That's not going to do it. We've been around this stuff forever. I think we've been on more boards than any company in the world, and we've gotten unbelievable results. And we did it at the end of the day without breaking any glass. I mean, think about it. Even the proxy fights, the CEOs stayed on. They worked with us.
Can I suggest something as we pause it there?
Please do, yeah.
He said we did this without breaking any glass. What is he saying? What's that particular kind of statement he's saying? He's not a corporate raider. He's not coming in to break it up into little pieces and sell it all off. That's what he's trying to say there.
Right.
So,
unlike Saul Steinberg, by the way, back.
No, I will say that
80s.
he has gone into companies with the intention of reorganizing into but usually, first of all, if he wants to spin off, that still maintains the shareholder value.
It does.
It just reincorporates it into two separate companies or something like that. Heinz being an example, and oh man, I wish I had my notes from the last time we went over Peltz.
It was that was like several months ago. You and I had talked about it, that he did go in to like spin one off to have somebody else. I think that was back with the Cadbury.
Oh, that was right. Mondelez and Heinz.
Mondelez, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And he still has shares in Heinz and Mondelez. I think he might still be on the board of some.
Pretty smart guy. And again, he's not a raider though. It's not like selling off the bits and pieces. That's not his MO. That's not what Trian does. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because there's going to be some times when he makes odd statements that don't sound like what he means. So
Yep, agreed. Thank you.
This is after a proxy.
Yeah,
David Taylor said the most wonderful things about us. Look what the stock did. I mean, that stock for 10 years stayed around in the 70s. We got on the board. It went from the 70s to 160. Come on. It didn't happen by
special guest.
Oh, he's absolutely right, by the way.
Yeah.
He shows up and he invests $500 million. He leaves with $1.5 billion. I mean,
he's not an idiot,
Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What would you do if you found out the guy next to you on Star Tours was a billionaire? Tell us your thoughts because we would love to know. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern Time. Of course, if you're not in that time zone, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know someone who is as interested as we are in this kind of thing, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.